It's your girl, Michelle D.I., Mrs. Divine Intervention herself. To all my helper bees out there, you know who you are. Those that are always helping everyone else and neglecting yourself. Yes, boo, look in the mirror. I'm talking to you. Here to let you know God has not forgotten about you. I've been sent on divine assignment. It's time for reflections, choosing me guilt free. That means 30 minutes for your mind, your body, spirit, and emotions. And don't act like you don't have time. You have time for everyone and everything else. Sit back and relax because if you're here, that means this show is for you or it's for someone you know. But most likely, it's for both of y'all. Deep breaths, love. Let's go. Hey family, hey family, hey family. It is your girl, Michelle Allen Franklin. I am live in the studio. That was one of my good friends, Mr. Isaac Belota, with the episode Following the Vision. Following the Vision. Mr. Isaac Belota, beautiful spirit. The beginning of the year, he had a mural that he saw, out in Jacksonville, I believe it was, and created this beautiful backstory and history there. But his story and journey is available on the podcast channel. That is Reflections, Choosing Me Guilt Free. You know, you got a podcast. I said Reflections, Choosing Me Guilt Free. That's Reflections, capital CMGF, no space, at YouTube. It is Monday, family. Monday the what? Oh my goodness, we're in March, y'all. It is Monday. It is Monday, March the 2nd, 2026. How y'all doing? How was your weekend? How was your weekend, family? I had a great weekend. I've been rolling, doing all of the things. And, you know, we were at an appreciation yesterday. We've been all over the place. Your girl's been all over the place, y'all. Let me try to get the information right for you. Let me see. Where was I at yesterday? We had a beautiful church service. Shout out to our assistant pastor, Elder Crane. Held it down yesterday. I'm sending blessings to my pastor, Dr. Deborah Hope. She was not feeling well yesterday. And Elder Crane preached yesterday. As is was the name of his sermon yesterday. As is. Said, we're trying to fix ourselves up and do all of the things. And baby, Jesus already came down and paid the price. He's going to take us as is. He knew the story. I was like, oh, he put it together. It was real nice. It was nice. It was beautiful. Great message yesterday. Elder Crane holding down the fort. And then we went to, let me get the name right. Hang on. Let me get it. Where is it? Let me see. We went to, yes, New Bethel. I'm like, I'm tired, y'all. We went to New Bethel Baptist Church to a musician's appreciation musical. It wasn't yesterday, y'all. It was Saturday. That was Saturday at 6. Out down there in Flint. They were honoring, Brother Delwyn Banks, Sister Ann Jackson, and Minister Alvin Jones Jr. It was amazing. Everybody was down there. I always love hearing people's, yes, they were down there, people's, I don't know if it's Missionary Baptist or People's Church. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I love hearing them sing. They were amazing. It's on my Facebook page. You know, I went live for a few minutes. I had to go to work Saturday night at 9:00. So I had to leave after we sung, but I got about 40 minutes of it. If you want to see it, it's on my page, on my Facebook page, Michelle Allen Franklin, Saturday night. Y'all go over there and get y'all some of that good music. I love me some good music. And they were singing. Everybody was doing an amazing job. And then our Church of the Living God, the choir got up and sung a little Trouble Don't Last Always. Is that what we sung? I believe it was. I believe it was Trouble Don't Last Always. But it was a time was had in Flint, Texas. And so it's always nice to know that you are seen, right? I feel like none of us do the things that you do in the church for accolades, right? Everyone is there just doing their part. But the minister of music has such a responsibility to hold the spirit, to carry the spirit when the pastor is, to help to usher in, right, the spirit. When I was younger, I wasn't the word that got me. I remember being younger because now, I found out that I'm have a little the neurodivergency in me, but I'm more prone to music, right? And so music has always been, I'm like, oh, the choir singing, I love the robes, I love all of the things, but the music is so important. And so just love what to be in places like that with the music appreciation, but knowing that their job is so important and necessary, right? Just necessary. So today, it is Women's History Month, y'all. March is Women's History Month. Um, I'm gonna tell you what, I have just such an appreciation for the women that have been in my life that have molded me, that have guided me along the way. It's something to have just strong women all around you. I think if you, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, I think if you take the time to just appreciate, look around at the women that are in your life and appreciate the role that they have, because sometimes, you just take people for granted, right? You take people for granted. Last year, I did a series. I tried to have someone every day of the month to post a woman. And when I first got the idea, I thought, man, I really wanted to shine light on people that have influenced me. And so, I think it's always something to do uh, to shine a light on, stars and celebrities and all of that. But I think that's what everyone does, right? And so, your girl's always trying to do something different. And so I thought, let me just shine a little light on some people that have helped me and that have inspired me along the way. And I meet amazing women and I know amazing women. So every day last year for the month of March, for Women History Month, I interviewed for the podcast a woman that has influenced my life and shared her journey. And so I started with my mama. Because who hasn't influenced me most is my mama. Yes. She brought me in this world. Yes. I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. Only get one, you only get one. Yeah. Yes, I started the month off with my mama. Who else could I have started the month off with? Nobody. And then I have some amazing people. So my pastor's on there, Dr. Deborah Hopes, because she came in just with the spirit of God, with the floodgates. Sister Pamela Irwin is on there, our local celebrity. We love her. Our local shining star. Miss Pamela Irwin is on there. Have a lot of beautiful spirits on there. Go check it out. It is called the Lessons and Blessings series. And it is, as you journey throughout this life, what are, the lessons and blessings that you can pass down and hand to another woman. And so I really love that. Is actually one of my favorite series. I really love that series. And it's, again, everyday women. And I think it is important. Excuse me, y'all. My throat is a little funky today. Excuse me. I think it's important to highlight because we're always, looking outward, right? And I think that if you just look within your circle and look around at the people that God has surrounded you with, right? Because there have been so many people that have influenced your life, they don't get that shine, but they have made a significant impact on your life. I think about Sister Jean, third grade, in Catholic school. I have not seen her, but she has made a significant impact, right, in my life. I've had some teachers that have had a very significant impact. And again, I'm thinking about Sister Irwin, Pamela Irwin, because when I've gone to different places and people will say, "Do you know her?" Or they'll say this about her. And because she was, had the dance factory for 25 years, and then she also was an educator. And so, the impact that she's had in our communities, everyone that knows her has a story about her. And I just think that that's amazing, right? I don't know that she knows of the impact, right? And you can even think of your life. I think of my life, and I've had, being a nurse now for 25 years, 26 in August, but I did not know. I've had students that have reached out to me. I have, students that I mentor. We're just doing what God has called us to do, but you don't understand the impact, that you have on someone's life. And so I think to just take that in this month to, if you have someone that has influenced your life, maybe reach out to them and let them know, right? Reach out to them and let them know what an impact that they've had on your life and what they've meant to you. It makes a tremendous difference. Even when I interviewed Sister, she didn't know that I was watching her, right? Watching and comparing her, to other dance instructors and things like that. And so, um, again, I think that would fill somebody's cup, to let them know what what impact that they've had on your life. I have a beautiful spirit that I did not get to mention. I did not get to interview last year. And, we're always thinking about, oh, we have time. We have time. We have time. I have two beautiful spirits that impacted my life very significantly. One is her name was Pastor Shirley Thomas. She, when I met her, was in the alto section with your girl at Church of the Living God, but she had gone on to pastor her own church. And just watching her and her strength, raising her babies in the church, and just the way that she sung with such reverence to God, you know, I just always loved, boy, we knew when Sister Shirley got the mic, that was gonna be it. We was gonna be singing. It was gonna be a time, boy. It was gonna be a time as a spirit would come on her and she would just be going. But I'm, at that point, 16, 17 years old, and just still remember, the impact of the Holy Spirit coming in my life through music, through her voice, right? The other beautiful spirit that has passed on, I want to pay homage to today, is a lady by the name of Judy Foster. Your girl has shared her story that I was married young. I was 18 years old, that young love. 18 years old when I got married, and soon after separated at 20. And so, back in Tyler trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I ended up at this home working for disabled children. I was just a home health aide at that point. That was the very beginning of my nursing journey. Well, I was at TJC taking prerequisite classes, and I was working in this home. Now, this family, Judy and Stephen Foster, they lived right here in Tyler over by Green Acres, and they had probably 6, 7, 8 foster children. All of them had some form of disability. And so it was nurses in the home. I was an aide at that time. Um, but that would come to help take care of these children. Judy Foster, she really watched me as I took care of the children with just, um, I think, just love, right? And grace for the children. I had one child in there, but it was three girls in there, and I did their hair and I, cleaned them up and did all the things because that's just what I felt like I was wanted to do. And she said, you should go to uh, the LPN program. I had heard of being a registered nurse, but I had never heard of a licensed practical nurse, right? And so, practitioner nurse. And she had just finished the program just for the safety of her children. And she said, she really encouraged me. She said, you're a natural. You need to go to LPN school. And that's what I did. And it was the best decision from her leadership and her guidance. And just that one, pour reference into me, right? She poured into my soul that day to say, you're a natural. It really encouraged me, like, oh, okay. you know, because how many of you know that sometimes people see things, something inside of you that you don't see in yourself? I'm just trying to survive at that point. I literally was just trying to survive, and God sent her and sent that message to me. And that was the beginning of my nursing career. And she passed away on Christmas Day. And her and Sister Thomas, I both in my mind was thinking, oh, I'll be able to see them. I'll be able to talk to them again. I remember having thought to call, and Sister Thomas had a program that she did annually, and I didn't get to go to her program. And I thought, oh man, I'll make sure I'm at the next one next year. And of course, she passed away. Judy, I thought, oh, man, I didn't get to talk to her for my Lessons and Blessings series. I'll get her next year. And here, then she passed away. 2025. Why am I saying this to you? I'm saying that to you to say, don't take these people for granted, right? That they're going to be here, because we don't know the time or the hour. And both of them, it was very sudden and unexpected. But both, excuse me, two amazing women again that I just want to send reverence to their families, and love for pouring into my life the way that they have. Mm-mm-mm. My spirit is full with that. My spirit is full with that. Today, because it is Women's History Month, I want to talk to you. We've been doing a little series since the beginning of the year. And let me put a penny in this. I'm sorry, really quickly, and say I am going to apologize to all of you that have gone to the YouTube channel to look for the previous from this year. I have not had the opportunity, was having some issues with my computer and some technical difficulties. I have a new computer now to download and do the podcast and my equipment and things. And so I forget to mention it every week that is why. I think the very first episode, yeah, the very first show of this year is there, and then the rest are not. And so I'm going to be working on that this week. And so by next week, all of the shows up until today's show should be there before next Monday. So um, I just want to apologize for that and finally remember to tell you, because I know some people are looking for them. Now, today I want to talk really quickly about the top 5 health concerns for women. It's Women's Health Month. It's Women's History Month, excuse me. And so we're talking today about the top 5 concerns for women. Okay. The number one cause, and I did this for men, don't feel left out, men. I did this for y'all last month. And so again, it'll be on next week if you didn't get an opportunity to hear that live. The number one cause of concern for women is heart disease. We talk about this all the time. Last month was Cardiovascular Awareness Month. Heart disease is the number one killer for men and women across the board. It is the number one leading cause of death for women in the United States across the board. all the cancers, you can add them up, any other illness, ailment, whatever it is that people have passed away from. Nope, doesn't come close to heart disease. And so a lot of us have these symptoms, but we don't recognize it as heart disease. We just, because we're what I call going and being and doing. So one is fatigue, nausea, jaw and back pain, shortness of breath without chest pain. That means you're getting up to walk and you just walk across the room and then all of a sudden you're tired, you're fatigued, you can't hardly breathe. Or you could just be sitting, right? And all of a sudden, nothing. The risk for heart disease increases after menopause because there's a decline in your estrogen levels. And so that increases the risk. And so understanding that this matters because generally, we are, like I said, going and being and doing, our stress levels are up. We have this unprocessed grief because what? We gotta always have our little superwoman capes on and act like we're fine all the time. And so we have this unprocessed grief. We're suffering from anxiety. We're suffering from caregiver burnout because what are we doing? Taking care of everyone else but ourselves. Who I'm talking to? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yep. Caregiver burnout, um, which causes increased inflammation and it causes strain on your heart, family. Okay. Increased inflammation and strain on your heart. We talked about chronic stress being the number one silent killer, and it is because it does increase those cortisol levels, which increases the inflammation, which increases the strain on your heart. And so, very, very important to decrease that cortisol overload, to let go of the strong black woman syndrome, and to stop suppressing your emotions, family. Very important. Stop suppressing your emotions. Number two is mental health, anxiety, depression, burnout. Women, we are nearly twice as likely as men to experience anxiety and depression. And that, of course, has to do with our hormones. We have a lot of trauma, unprocessed trauma that we haven't dealt with. Again, the caregiver fatigue is there. We have this relationship stress. And then we have the financial pressures because a lot of us are single parents, been doing it on our own for however long, and just trying to make it. That's one of my things. I feel like my entire adult life has been just financial strain, trying to get stable, just trying to get stable, just trying to get stable, trying to get stable. Um, More money, more problems. Is what happens. So some people are like, you a nurse, you shouldn't. Honey. More money, more problems. Somebody know what I'm talking about. But the rates of anxiety are especially high in women that are 30 to 55 because we're juggling careers, caregiver, and then you have your aging parents in there. And so it's all of the things. Number three is diabetes and metabolic syndrome. So, type 2 diabetes, which is diabetes that you're not born with, it develops over time, right? It continues to rise in women, especially in Black and Hispanic women. And this is again because of chronic stress. I talked about this last week with the insulin resistance. That's my issue, right? The insulin resistance, PCOS, sedentary lifestyle. We're not getting up, walking around like we used to. And then we're all this processed food intake, right? We're going and doing all the things. So we need that fast food. We're trying to, get somewhere and get it quickly so we can hurry up, get these kids together and go on and do whatever else we have to do, which again increases diabetes, which diabetes and heart disease now have been linked together. And so that makes it a higher risk for strokes and heart attacks. And then you have a greater risk factor for the fatty liver disease, which again I talked about last week. So you have to think about your background in your health. So we're monitoring what is your A1C, what is your liver enzymes doing, right? we have to find these out. Keep an eye on them. Number 4 is autoimmune diseases and thyroid disorders. So women are 4 to 10 times more likely than men to develop an autoimmune disease. So that is Hashimoto's with the thyroid disorders, that's Graves' disease, it's lupus, it's rheumatoid arthritis. And the symptoms, because again, we're going and being and doing it, we're thinking this is just normal, is brain fog. Oh man, I can't remember. What was I doing? I can't, oh man, I'm just tired. You think, oh, I'm just tired. That's the reason why. So, another thing, brain fog, weight gain, hair loss, fatigue, and anxiety like symptoms. We're going to get into next week a little bit more about autoimmune and thyroid diseases. We'll talk about that a little bit more next week. Because again, women are 4 to 10 times more likely than men to develop this. Number 5 is breast and reproductive cancers. So most cancers in women, the most common cancer in women, besides skin cancers, are breast cancer. Other key cancers are what? So the risk factors are always your age, your family history, obesity, hormonal exposure, and alcoholism. The biggest thing with cancers, we all know this, is early detection. So we need to have our mammograms. You have to have your pap smears. You have to make sure that you know your HPV status, right? Because that they know from just research now, HPV is a contributing factor to cancers. And then just knowing your family history. Why is that important, family? Because if you have a family history, then that puts you at a higher risk. And so the screening is going to be a little bit different. They're going to be more specific on the screening. And so it's really, really impactful and powerful for you to make sure that you are looking at these numbers, that you're paying attention to how you're feeling. If you're having a symptom that is lasting for longer than 2 weeks, listen to somebody say, I've been feeling like this for months and years. Yeah, then that means it's a problem. That it's a problem, right? And it's something that we need to pay attention to. And so sometimes they can say that your labs are normal, but if you're still feeling like you're off or something isn't right, then, go back and say, hey, something isn't right. I think that's one of the things that a lot of women and just people in general, I always say, your body. You know your body. You know when something's off. So don't let somebody say, no, you're okay, when you know that you're not okay. It's okay to get a second opinion. It's okay to go back. I don't know who I'm talking to today. It's okay to get a second opinion. It's okay to go back and say, wait a minute, no, I still feel off. Something isn't wrong. You're not bothering somebody. It is your body. It is your life, right? And so I just want to encourage you today. All right, family. Until next week. Well, family, this has been another divine intervention. Thank you for tuning in to Reflection, Choosing Me Guilt Free with your girl, Miss Michelle Di. Every week, we will have the